Fizz Batch. I think people are calling it the Fizz Batch. I don't know how to pronounce things. Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. We have another massive collection here that we're going to go through. We're going to do an interesting video today where it's actually going to be buying this collection, but also going through and utilizing a side batch, Fizz Batch. I think people are calling it the Fizz Batch. 9,000 that another game store in the area has. So just want to give you a quick look at what this collection is. We are always buying collections. KitchenTableTCG@gmail.com. So this is a weird one where he knew that he had a bunch of proxies. He purchased a bunch of proxies, and he said that he kind of got all of them, but he also said that we should look through the things to be proxies. We always do that anyway in this day and age. The way that proxies are prevalent in Magic the Gathering, there's so much of that. But check this out. There is just so many cards, so many bulk, so much stuff. But check this out. These are also decks. I'm gonna move this with one hand. All these commander decks. These are all individual commander decks. So what we're gonna do is unsleeve everything. Keep it all nice, neat, concise. While we're unsleeving, we'll kind of look for any of the telltale signs of proxies, card quality, card looking. We'll use a thing on the back of them for the green dot. We'll kind of identify any proxies, get those out of the way, and then just run all the cards through the side batch 9,000. Fizz Batch, I think people are calling it the Fizz Batch. And that'll be the video, and we'll have another collection going on. This is turning into a real thing every day. So a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoy the video. There's actually 2 more boxes of bulk. Lots and lots of cards in this collection. We're about halfway through this box of decks. I actually wish I would have done like a Commander game series where we played 4 of his decks against each other, but no, I just don't have time. So a little bit of the setup. I am checking just about every card to see if they are fake or not. This is going to take a long time, but I want to show you it is worth it. There are some really, really high-end cards here. I love that Soul Ring. Really, really great cards. There's a Mana Vault. We got the Lotus Petals. We've got a Jeweled Lotus here, Grinding Station, Birds of Paradise. There's revised Wheels of Fortune, some revised duels. These are very, very Mox Diamond. They're very, very high-end cards. Also just some really cool, deck things. Like here's a whole Shadowborn Apostle deck. It'll be interesting. All 30 of these or so will probably sell to one customer because that's just how Shadowborn Apostles roll, baby. But there was some fake cards, and he did his best to label most of the fake cards, but I did find a fake Gaia's Cradle. The biggest way to tell on these, you can kind of tell if you've handled cards long enough, but one of the reasons I am taking out all the sleeves is just to be able to actually physically hold the cards and feel them. And it is like the best way to be able to tell is by actually seeing the card. You can tell this is a pretty bad fake. The gloss is pretty bad on it. You can tell on the backside too. It's just too clean. It's just way too clean. But then you can always check it with this is a jeweler's loop or I don't know, whatever else they're called, but magnifying glass. You put it in there. You look on this little circle right there, and there's like an L that makes with the little circle. Some really good fake cards though, proxy cards. This Mox Opal, very, very well done. Looked really, really good. It is fake, really interesting. The Mox Diamond, not nearly as good of a fake. The foiling is a little different. This is the whole pile of non-real cards, most of which he had labeled. The Gaia's Cradle was just one of the few that he did not have labeled. So, very interesting collection and a lot of fun to go to. Still haven't found like the one card I really like, but I will say, these foil swamps are absolutely beautiful. These maybe end up, there's 2 of these in the Shadowborn deck. These may end up being the cards that I hold on to from the collection. I always pick one card or one set of cards from each collection I buy for my personal collection. I thought about taking one of the Commander decks, but I think I'm just going to take a card. We'll see what else I do. And then with Wizards, you get cards like this. These are both real cards, but you can tell there's an obvious print difference between the 2 of them. Both real cards. You see how much darker and more, darker these are and more brown these are. It's not just the lighting. They're very different. Thanks, Wizards. All right, so for this collection, I'm using a new system called SortSwift. This is the first time I've used it. It's all in testing and everything, but it uses one of these cool FI 8170 scanners, and you're able to say feed quantity. And check this out. Again, this is in development from mtga, but I wanted to show it off. It uses a Raspberry Pi. It leaves no marks on the cards. It scans the cards through pretty rapidly. There's actually a faster way to do this too that I might show later. And then the cards come in through here, and they are currently identifying. And then we will click on the cards, and this one failed identification, but here we have the ability to go ahead and select the cards. So it already knows that that is from the Secret Layer series. We can accept that one by hitting the space bar or the enter bar. All these scanned in. There were 4 of those. Retro Frame, Modern Horizons 3. It gets the correct edition, the correct thing. Wooded Foothills, Modern Horizons 3. Blood Crypt, Secret Layer. It's the correct card. You just qualify it. So this is the scanned card, and this is the one that it's recognizing. So far, it's gotten all of them correct. You just really quickly approve all the cards, and then you can export a CSV, and they actually have, for some reason, one of the cards didn't work, but they actually have a CSV updater that then you can go through and just upload it to TCG Player. To show you just how powerful this can be, I'm going to do uploading 500 cards at once. This is pretty impressive. So watch how fast it will scan them. And while it's scanning, it is identifying the card over there. It's not identifying it, it's just scanning it in. So this will be able to do 500 cards at a time that will upload to the software. Now there is an amount of pre-sorting you have to do. These are all near mint non-foil cards. I'm batching them out into batches of 500. I'm labeling them as I'm uploading them, and then I'll have the total of 3,000 cards scanned in, and it will actually be able to tell me a CSV of all the cards. All right, so I have my 500 here. I'm going to hit complete batch. I'm going to say yes. They're going to go to a thing called the name. I'm going to select all the images here, and I'm going to drag them over to the SortSwift, all 500 over here. And then I'm going to hit identify, and then SortSwift is going to begin to identify all 500 of those cards. And you can see it's doing that. While it's doing that, it is coming up with the values and all that stuff. And then we'll go through and confirm all 500 cards. And while this is going through, I just want to show you, this is a Delighted Halfling that just went through the card sorter, just went through this FI 871 or whatever it is. There's no roller marks. There's no damage at all to the card. Actually, this card's gone through a couple times because I've been figuring out how to use this whole system. But no damage. And this is, we did all the high-end cards through there to test this and really stress test their system. Okay, so it took me about an hour and a half to get just under 1,000 cards, 972 cards into the system and accept them and go through them. SortSwift is really, really great. They, again, are in like a beta testing. They have a thing on Saturday of this week. I don't know when the video is going to go up, where you can go to SortSwift and they're going to do a whole like explanation of everything. Devin and Micah are awesome, and they've been working really hard on something that's really cool. So I wanted to share it because I was trying it out and using it, but I'm trying to learn the best way to buy collections like this. And it's back and forth on how to do this. So I love that something like SortSwift exists. I love that people like Micah who are creating it exist, because they are working towards making these things easier for people to do, to buy, to sell, to trade. And that's really good. And the quick list software, it's like TCG Player doesn't actually care about it. They don't ever update it. They don't ever make it easier. It looks bad. It's old. I love that somebody's trying to create a software that will replace that and be better. So it's just showing you guys on the channel some different things that are going on in the world of card scanning and sorting and looking things up. So thank you to Micah and Devin for letting me have access to this and to check it out. It's really cool. Okay, so I know this video is kind of all over the place, but things have changed and moved. And SortSwift already has a 7-day trial that they're launching. But I've loved this software so much that I reached out to them, and I got you guys, viewers of the channel, an extended 7 days. So if you use the discount code BeKind, you'll get 14 days free to utilize the software to test it out to see if you like it. And you'll also get 5% off your order. And then I'm working on, in the Discord server, if you're a supporter, you're going to get 10% off of SortSwift moving forward as well, because the software was so much fun to use and I enjoyed it so much. I wanted you guys all to see it and have a discount code to use it. I don't get any kickback from that or anything like that. it's such a cool software. I thought everybody needed to have access to it. All right, so that was half of the collection. This is the more expensive cards that we pulled out. Now we're going to take the bulk all the way to an LGS in Beckley called Family Game Night, which should be a lot of fun. Now we're going to this LGS in Beckley because they have what's called a side batch fizz batch. I think people are calling it the fizz batch 9000. And this side batch fizz batch, I think people are calling it the fizz batch 9000, can sort through, they say 3,000 cards an hour. Now, I don't know if it's going to actually be 3,000 cards an hour, but we're going to bring what I think is about 10,000 cards. Sorry, what I think is about 30,000 cards, and see how fast we can get it done. See if we can get it done in 10 hours. It's not 30,000. It's probably 20,000 cards. We're going to see if we can do 20,000 cards in 8 hours. We're going to see if we can do that. So the goal today is to what's called sift the collection that we have left. We have about 5 4,000 count boxes. The goal is to take those cards, put them through the side batch 9000 in order to extract any of the valuable cards out of that bulk that was sent to me. And that's the goal. And we're going to see if this is fast. And the goal is to do this as quickly as possible because I don't like spending a lot of time with bulk. And that is why we are going to utilize the side batch. Fizz batch, I think people are calling it the fizz batch 9000. Of course, any trip to the LGS is pointless without your friends. Say hi to Steve! Steve's joining us for the day. We also brought more. He didn't get the video of him going in the car. But we're here at Family Game Night. They have a Gengar out front. Family Game Night in Beckley, West Virginia. So we'll do a little tour of the video and then also start sorting all the bulk. All right, this is Danny.
What's up, guys?
This is his store, Family Game Night. Oh, you got some action figures over here. What else you got, Danny? This is the bulk. We got the TCG machines. This is why we're here. The TCG machines. You got a lot of 3D printing. Danny got his start in 3D printing in the pandemic. And that's part of the, is that part of the business model here, Danny?
Oh, yeah.
Part of the business model with 3D printing, Magic, Pokemon, Elestrals. How's Elestrals doing?
Hit or miss here or there. We occasionally have someone come in and just flip out overseeing it.
Yeah. Gamegenic. I like showing off other stores because I think it's really cool. Board games, Pokemon. Lots of board games. 3D printed. And then downstairs we'll show you when we're gonna Moore's just here to play Commander. That's what he's excited to do. We'll play some Commander games and hang out downstairs too. Danny, tell us all about the TCG machine.
Yeah, so this thing is great. We had some trouble when we first got it, jamming up, installing a lot, but with reaching out to their customer support, they got fixed in almost no time.
The side batch fizz batch, I think people are calling it the fizz batch 9000. Now, have you seen the side batch 8999?
I have not.
No. You just went with this model. Huh? So our goal today is to get through all this bulk, which they're 4,000 count boxes, but they really hold 5,000 count. And we got about 4.5 of them. So we're going 25,000 cards. Do you think we can do it in 9 hours?
I think so.
We're going to try it. So we're going to show you guys how we set it up and what we do. And we're going to do our best. And then we'll talk to Danny a little bit more too. All right, so we got our settings going here. What we're doing is putting cards over $25 will go into bin 1 because that's the smallest bin, and then all the other bins can hold up to 500 cards. So over $25 is going in here. Bin 2 is going to be $10 to $25. Bin 3 is going to be 50 cents to $10. Bin 4 is bulk rares and mythics. 5 is tokens, multicolor, and then everything else just goes into color sorting. So that's our kind of goal to get the TCG machine side batch fizz batch. I think people are calling it the fizz batch to work, and now we'll see if it works. All right, so bin 7 is filling up, and importantly, you can just at any point take this off while it's running and add more cards. It's kind of like an unlimited feed. And now, Danny, you said bin 7, we can just hit the empty button?
Yeah.
So you want to hit the empty button and then I'll empty it. So these are the blue cards. So we can just hit the empty and then we can just take these cards and we can put them into our bin where we'll mark them as blue. And the machine just keeps running, right?
Yep.
Unlimited amount, forever. Does it say how many cards are sorted in this so far?
Not unless we hit the insort button. That'll tell us how many cards.
Thousands, I think. Pretty cool. All right, so this is Danny, owner of Game Night. Danny, you 3D printed this Gengar.
Yep.
Look at the size of Gengar. It's the size of me, which is saying something. I'm huge. All right, Danny, let's go in here and you tell us all about Family Game Night and in your store and what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. So as soon as you enter the door, you have our register over here. Back toward the back, you'll have our board games. And then we also have over 300 board games that anyone can come in anytime. Just grab a game off the shelf, go downstairs, play, have a good time.
Just an open catalog for people to hang out and play. I love that. So this is up here, the retail space, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, downstairs is where the real fun is to be had.
And you got your start in the pandemic 3D printing stuff.
Yeah.
And then some special game or some special thing. I don't remember what you said it was.
Among Us.
Among Us.
When that game.
I know that one.
Popularity.
Yeah. You started selling Among Us 3D prints, and that kind of jump started the ability to do this. That's amazing.
Yeah, they gave us enough funds to be able to present to a local organization who helps local businesses get started, to get a small business loan to jumpstart this.
That's awesome. And so here you got the TCG machines, and tell us what you guys use the TCG machines for.
Yep, so we mainly use this to sift through, find any value in all of our bulk cards, and then we sell anything in our store under $1 for just 10 cents a piece to our customers. And it's really helped out our customer base being able to find cards that they're needing in a pinch. Especially with Magic cards, we've been sorting by color, and then we'll resort once we have it sorted by color by mana cost. So if you're looking for a couple one-drop blues to throw in your deck, you'll have a couple rows just filled with one-drops that you can search for.
That's cool. And you're happy with the machine? It works well?
Yeah. We had a few issues getting it started off the gate, but ever since we've got those problems resolved, it's been working fantastic for us.
Cool. All right, and so then this is the retail side, and then down below is, man, I could never get into action figures, man. This seems like a dangerous hobby. Seems dangerous.
It really is.
All right.
I almost killed it about a year ago.
Oh, is that Battletoads? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's like one of the very few NES games I ever completed. I love it. All right, let's go to the play space downstairs. I love all the Star Wars stuff. Caution, watch your head.
Yeah, a little bit of a steep stairway.
I love that you've got all the arcades down here too. So you do open play for this, right? $5 a day, you can come and play any arcades.
Yep, $5. You can just come down and play as much as you want. And occasionally we also do birthday parties down here.
It's awesome. And then you have another building that's in the works.
Yep.
To be more of an arcade.
We'll actually have, I believe we have about 22 more arcade machines over there currently.
That's awesome. Super cool. And give me your overall motto on owning an LGS? What's the overall goal?
It's a lot of hard work. You gotta really be dedicated. But the goal is really just to bring people around from the community, create a space where people can hang out, have a good time, enjoy themselves, and really create a community.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can tell you, I know a couple of the guys that come here. I can tell you've really created a cool community. Well, awesome, man. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here and using your sorter. And we'll keep going with the card sorting part. I just want to give you an opportunity to share about the store because I know you're passionate about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And super awesome, man.
I appreciate you guys coming down.
All right, we have our first jam, according to Moore. It stopped.
I don't know if it's a jam.
Ed was just telling us to check the machine. The high volume of cards were over underfed. So where it double feeds the cards here and there, I'll do this occasionally.
Okay.
All we gotta do is tell it to resume sort.
So just
Work again, TCG machine. Hey. All right, so we are about 2 hours in, and we have successfully sorted 5,000 cards. It's successfully sorted an entire batch of these. We've got it organized, but we do have our first jam.
Just gotta take all the cards out.
Oh, there's the insides. Let's show that. That's pretty cool. And in this case, it was because one of the perfect fit sleeves remained past my staff getting rid of it, which happens. All right, 8.5 hours later, it is now 7:30. We started the sorting at 11. It's 8.5 hours later. We sorted through 19,244 cards. For those of you who aren't good at math, that is 2,200 cards an hour on the Psy batch and Fizz batch. I think people are calling it the Fizz batch. 9,000. Danny, where you at? Thank you so much. Huge,
Yeah, my pleasure.
huge help to be able to do this and to see the Psy batch. Fizz batch. I think people are calling it the Fizz batch. 9,000. They actually, I think we're going to have one that's going to get, I'm going to be able to do a full on review on it in a couple months. So stay tuned for that. But Danny, thank you for letting me, you keep running away. Thank you for letting me do that. And your store is awesome. And if you're ever in the Beckley area in West Virginia, make sure you check out Family Game Night. They are amazing, good people who care about the community. And dude, your prices are awesome. Your store is awesome. Thank you so much for letting me be here.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming down.
All right, back to Game Grove now, where we have all the boxes out. You can see this is all the bulk. Again, it was about 20,000 cards that we sorted. All this is bulk that is now color sorted: red, artifact, green. You see it's all color sorted. And then this is the cards that are overvalued according to the Psy batch. I think I've been saying this Fizz batch. I think people are calling it the Fizz batch. I don't know how to pronounce things. Regardless, this is now the stack of cards overvalue, which we will scan in just like we scanned in the other cards that we knew were overvalued before, and then we'll come up with the final valuation. Alrighty, so this ended up being the collection. Just a little bit recap. I don't know how this video turned out in terms of what you saw and what you liked and what you didn't like. Let me know if you like these collection buy videos. I think it's a lot of fun to go through the process, and it's really fun to see the process changing. I am relatively new in the space. I've been buying Magic cards for 10 years. I've been selling on a TCG player forever. But from a LGS perspective and from buying collections, this is new for me in the last year and a half. So I feel like I'm really learning and growing in how to do this. And there's a lot of really cool tools out there, and I really like sharing it with you all. So we got some new information coming out with the Sort Swift stuff. I think on Saturday, you can watch a live demo of that on their channel. We've got some stuff coming up. I'm going to do a full review of that program at some point for you all. And then additionally, I think we have a Fizz batch. I think I'm supposed to call it Fizz batch. I gotta figure that out. I think we have a Fizz batch coming in that we're going to do a review on that as well. So lots of cool stuff down in the pipeline. Make sure you're subscribed. This collection ended up just under $19,000, around $19,000 is where the collection is. About half of that value, and this has been the case for most of the collections that I buy. About half of the value is in cards above $25, and about half the value is in cards below $25. So kind of interesting to see that. Yeah, some of the big hitters, obviously, the Gaia's Cradle, the Gilded Drake, the Cursed Totem. I believe that's a CDH thing that's going around. A couple of duels, Bayou and a Taiga. Mox Diamond, Wheel of Fortune, a Mana Vault, and a Tropical Island. So some of the big hitters obviously there, but then just really a huge collection of Commander staples, cards that will fly off the inventory. I'm going through the process now where I've figured out the front end of buying collections. I think I know what I want to do. This video was me figuring that out in a bigger scale. This is now my third or fourth large collection purchase that I'm ready to scale and to continue to do that. Again, if you're ever selling collections, KitchenTableTCG@gmail.com. But now on the back end, it's like, how do we get more efficient and better at shipping? Because we don't do direct, we don't do any of that stuff. We ship out all of our cards ourselves. So that's kind of my challenge next, is how do we get more efficient? How do I get employees to be more efficient and better? And how do I get more employees to help on that side of the process? Because when cards come in, they have to go out. This is not like a warehouse thing where I just have a billion cards in the back where I want to do things. We actually don't even have that many cards here on site. So it's kind of crazy. Like all the high-end stuff doesn't stay on site. This all goes to a different location. But the low-end stuff we move through and we grind through, and it's a process. And so you guys are going to join me as I do that and continue to do that. And that's what this channel does right now. And that's what we're doing these days. Buying collections, showing you how to do it. And then if you want to support the channel, you can go to Discord, go to KitchenTableTCG.com and hop in the Discord. It's free to be there, but we do have some cool stuff coming up. Again, when we get into some more of these reviews, I've got some cool discounts coming for those of you who are interested in the programs that we're using there, and you'll get a discount if you're a channel member. So pretty cool. Not channel member, that's YouTube. But let me know what you guys think about the collection. What card? I don't even know what I'm gonna keep. Probably, actually, I do think I need a Gaia's Cradle. I think I need a Gaia's Cradle and a Great Henge, so I think I'll probably just pick those up and we'll call that a day. But there was nothing that really spoke to me in terms of a collection other than proxies. Like, holy moly, we're gonna do a whole nother series on these proxies. These things are insane. We're gonna do a whole nother video. I'm gonna do a response video to my own proxy video. And I'm gonna share with you guys some more of the perspective of that. Because holy moly, this collection was a lot of that. So have a great day. Be kind to the people around you. See you in the next video.